So you catch up that a simulation modeling is really a very powerful tool to study and analyze the behavior of a complex system. But does it mean that a following tool is not having any limitations? In frame of this section, we are going to discuss advantages and limitations of simulation. So we have just discussed what is the difference between analytical and simulation modeling. And most probably the question is when we need to use a simulation modeling. Of course, it depends a lot from the task, from the final goal, or what kind of tools are available, but a following 4 bullets indicates the key points when you need to start to think about the simulation modeling. So I'm not going to discuss the first point because it has been already stated that if there are no possibility to describe the system using equations, so it automatically leads us to try the simulation modeling. And as the majority of real systems are complex, so it automatically pushes us to think about the simulation modeling. The second bullet point says that pay attention to what kind of period of time you would like to study. Maybe you have a task to understand if a capacity, an example of your warehouse, would be enough during the Christmas time. So this one automatically pushes us to think about the specific period. And this one is a flag or sign that you need to think about simulation modeling. A third one indicates that if you would like to study what is happening in the system when you are introducing new items, new conditions, new rules, new logic. This one is again a sign to think about the simulation modeling. And the last one actually refers to the randomness. So meaning if in your system there is a significant number of random factors, so in this case, again, you need to think about simulation modeling. Of course, you would say, yes, but we know that, for example, a probability theory exists. Yes, guys, this one is correct. But again, you see what is stated. We are talking about significant number of random factors. So all the bullets which are listed here is just the point to think about utilization of a simulation modeling as a primary tool for system analysis. Now we are going to discuss advantages of simulation. So first of all, we are talking about speed. Simulation allows us to compress time, so processes that normally takes months or years can be observed within seconds or minutes using a computer. Second, costs. Testing ideas on a model is usually much cheaper than experimenting with a real system, especially when real-world experiments are expensive or risky. The third one, which is indicated, is safety. So simulation lets us explore extreme conditions, failures, or stress situations without damaging the real system or putting people at risk. And finally, forecasting. So simulation helps us analyze future system behavior and test scenarios even before a system is built or implemented. Of course, as a master level students, we need to discuss not only advantages but also limitations. So first, subjective vision. A simulation model always reflects the perspective of the person who designed it. The analyst decides what to include, what to simplify, and which assumptions to make. So different modelers may build slightly different models for the same system. The second one, associated costs. So developing and running simulations requires resources. This includes highly qualified staff, specialized software, and appropriate hardware, which means simulation projects are not free and must be justified by their expected benefits. And the last one is a time-consuming process. So simulation is not a quick method. Time is needed to analyze the system, design the model, implement it, test it, validate it, and run experiments. So high-quality simulation studies therefore require careful planning and sufficient time. Okay, so I hope you catch up that a simulation is not a miracle, meaning that there are limitations which we need to consider. And the question is how to mitigate the following limitations. So in general, here you could see some hints. The first one says that we could make a simulation process, I mean the development of the model, faster by applying a modern simulation software. The second one indicates that having the knowledge about modeling theory would help us in, as example, selecting the software, selecting the right simulation approach, and so on. And finally, and I believe, of course, one of the most important is that we need to have a practical skills and experience. Because sometimes people refer to the simulation as the thing which is related with the art. So meaning the more skills, more experience, more projects you have in your portfolio, the faster you could find out what is the best way how to analyze the following system.